This is gonna make you so happy. Easy mode. Yes, especially if you're someone who's over 40. Now listen, if you're under 40, God bless your sweet little heart. That's okay too, but right now it's our time. And anyone who's over 40, like you are going to love hearing about this a recent trend. It's been slowly happening. It's something that here on YouTube they refer to it as easy mode. Basically, let me just summarize this for you. It's creating content that isn't overly polished. It's simple. You clicked on this, and we didn't create a fancy thumbnail. We just took a screenshot from this video. That's step one of easy mode. So I didn't have to send it off to an editor. I didn't have to have a fancy photo or graphics or somebody to create it in Canva and to like really think about like what words do I put on the title screen. We didn't even use any words. It was just a picture of me. And that's known as easy mode, meaning it's easy mode because, well, first of all, frankly, it's much easier to do. Secondly, it's easier for consumption. So, what is easy mode? It's basically what you're watching right now. Like, I'm not going to be doing any edits. We're just going to post this. I'm going to film this and we're going to upload it. I'm not going to take out my ums and ahs. I'm not going to take out any stumbles. I'm just going to upload it like the same way I would be talking to you in real life, and I might get sidetracked or I might get off topic, but we're still having this conversation. With easy mode, that's really what you're doing. It's like a very honest, authentic conversation with your audience. And the reason why this works is because this is my personal take on this. I think we are too smart to be fooled by people who it's like they seem clever, but the cleverness, it's almost like too good to be true. They're doing so much editing that you wonder, like, are they really that sharp? Are they really that smart? Are they really that entertaining? Are they really that articulate? And we don't know because we're watching such an edited version of people. And I don't know if you've had the occasion to like meet someone who has a ton of followers online and then you meet them in person, you're like, huh, it's not what I thought. It's not the same person. Like, what? Something's not translating. The reason why, and I've had this happen many times, is because they have a phenomenal editor. I'm just speaking to you extemporaneously right now. I've got some notes here that I can refer to, but I'm not reading a script. And I'm just speaking to you about something that's of interest to you. Obviously, or you wouldn't be watching this video, and that I'm really excited about, or I wouldn't be talking about. So it's more of a real conversation. That's what easy mode is. Easy mode is easier for you, the creator, and it's easier for the person who's consuming. There's something about watching someone who's giving a performance where your brain has to be so busy figuring out, like, is this real? Is this an act? Is this who they really are? There's one person just popped into my head right now who I like them in real life. But I didn't know at first I only knew them online and I didn't like them because I'm like, this is not real. This is not authentic. Nobody talks like that. Nobody's that happy. Nobody's that, I don't know. It's just like, and then when I met them in person, I'm like, they're so much like more normal in real life. By the way, that person is going to have a much tougher time connecting with an older demographic. And by older, I mean over 40. I'm 55. I'm proud because I just think our BS meter is more finely tuned. Like we can tell when someone's faking it. And easy mode, that's part of it. It's allowing you to be authentically you. Easy mode is also sometimes described as like there's no fancy equipment. So I'm going to tell you right now, I am using a big light, but I don't often when I'm on Inst or when I'm on YouTube use a fancy light. I buy this. I have this like $15 light that I travel with. My camera. I'm not even using my laptop as my camera. I'm using an old iPhone using continuity camera. Are you familiar with that? So if you're not, go to ChatGPT and say, how do I use my iPhone with continuity camera? And I think it's probably, I don't know, it's probably, I don't know what year phone you have to have, but like if you're creating content, and I'm using an old phone right now. So, if it's a phone that you've had in the last like 3 or 4 years, it'll work. And the camera is better. The camera on an old iPhone or Android phone is probably better than any camera I'm gonna have in my laptop, and then I don't have to, like, lug around or even figure out how to use a fancy, are they called DLSR, DSLR? I don't know, you know what I'm s I don't even use fancy cameras because I like it easy mode. So I just hook my camera up and it's from an iPhone. It's very, very simple. Visual simplicity makes it easier for your audience to view things too. Like, there's some big YouTube creators and they've got like flying graphics, and we feel like we have to keep like the angles are changing every 2 seconds. You got a fancy background and fancy fonts and sound effects and all those things, but we really don't need it. And I don't know about you, but the type of content, especially on Instagram and YouTube and even TikTok, where there's like fonts flying in and there's jump cuts and fancy graphics, that stuff just makes me feel like I'm losing my mind. It makes me feel like the world is going too fast. It makes me want to like slow down, and it does something to my anxiety, and we're seeing a backlash. We're seeing people turn away from that type of content and turn towards, you can call it easy mode. I like to call it like just real, not highly produced, authentic, direct to camera content. And these are the creators who are crushing it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, YouTube long form, creators who have a wealth of experience. And with that experience comes confidence. You don't need to be wrinkle free. You don't need to be, 30 something or 20 something to kill it on any of these platforms. You need to be confident. And with age comes wisdom, and with that wisdom comes confidence. So confidently speak to your audience about things that you already know. And how great is it that like just a simple screenshot from the video might be all that you need on YouTube? Split test it and see if that's true for you. For sure on TikTok, that's working. I will say, as someone who teaches Instagram, by the way, shout out to Insta Club Hub. If you're not a member, we've got a special for you below. Insta Club Hub is the Instagram coaching program. It's a membership that myself and my son teach, and we've got thousands and thousands of members. And so we're able to pull them all the time to figure out like what is working. And to be honest, Instagram's a little behind the wheel, not behind the wheel, a little behind the 8 ball, a little behind the times when it comes to this authentic content. Like it's starting to catch on, but you still need a pretty good thumbnail for your reels in order for them to really catch on. But a very simple just screenshot of your video on TikTok and on YouTube and even YouTube Shorts, it's working. Okay, last thing I want to tell you is why. Why I think this is working. I mentioned this already, but I think there's a psychological element that makes us feel like when something is super highly produced, we're like, why? It's almost like when you meet someone and they're so over the top or so overly friendly, where you're like, are we hiding something? You know what I'm saying? It's like when you walk in and you're looking at a home, if let's say you're out home shopping, and they've got cookies baking in the kitchen and all the candles are lit, you're like, what are we hiding here? And I think subconsciously, we think to ourselves when things are like super highly edited and produced, first of all, that person and that creator feels less relatable. In order for us to like believe something is true, we have to kind of relate to it. So if the content is so highly produced, it feels too good to be true, it's really hard to relate to it. And if we're not relating to it, it's just not a brand that we necessarily like or trust. So the advantage is confidence and easy mode, not having to put too much into the production of it because you don't need to. Your message is what's going to carry it forward.